Ooh, what we got here?
So we got the convertible back from powder coat and paint. We're gonna do a whole series here on just kind of putting this whole car back together. So I want to give a big thank you first to Matt Smith at Performance Fab for putting this thing together and building it. All the chassis upgrades that he did, it all came out beautiful, as usual, as expected. And then it left Matt and it went to Jake Tinsley at Tinsleys Custom Coatings, and he did body work and prepped it, and then powder coated the whole chassis. So everything inside of the car, on the inside here, is all what's called Cadillac gray. You can, I mean, it's got a lot of flair there. Big fan. So yes, the quarter. A lot of people were asking. The quarters were on the car when he powder coated everything. I don't know how he did it. I've got a lot of messages asking me about, like, did the panels warp or anything? No, he knows what to do. If this is something you want to do, you call Jake. Don't ask me. I don't know how to do this. I just paid a man and he does a bang up job. So the whole inside of the car is Cadillac gray. All these panels that are out, he's already coated them all. We're going to assemble the car. We're going to videotape a lot of that. The outside, all this framework here is a pearl white. I think it's called Cosmic White. So it's a very good close match to the paint that's on the car. I wanted this, I didn't want to do automotive paint on this. I wanted this to be powder because it'll hold up a lot better. And this thing's going to see a lot of street miles and you know, kind of get beat up a little bit. So we wanted to do powder. So the firewall is still in the factory location. So if you notice, this is what's known as a 3/4 chassis. This is not an actual chassis.
This is not a tube chassis car.
Yeah, this is not a Pro Mod. This is a 3/4 chassis. This is a real car, right? This isn't no clown shit. This is a full real car. We've got frame rails, the factory frame rails. The firewall is in the factory location. You can tell by where it ties into the frame rail. The sheet metal here will show you that the stock style suspension is still in the front. The stock strut location, no stagger, the K-member bolts right in. In fact, these are dollies that Matt at Performance Fab made years ago for Mustangs, and it drops right in. We've been rolling.
So these don't work on chassis cars, is what you're
These
saying?
won't work on chassis cars.
Only on 3/4 chassis cars.
Correct. A chassis car, you got this bar down here, and I'm not a chassis guy, so don't quote me on this stuff. And I don't need you guys in the comments like, oh, it's bar number 13A, whatever. That bar here comes all the way forward, and then that's where you get your AR mounts off of. We don't have that because we've got a K-member that bolts into the factory location onto the factory frame rail. If we did it again, we probably would do a full chassis, because it would be lighter. We'd be pulling some weight off of this. We'd probably lose about 40-50 pounds in the front end. But the biggest gain with that is that you can start to mess with a lot of geometry, wheelbase. You can fudge wheelbase a little bit, but you also get a lot more clearance. So like engine mounting is a lot easier. Then you could also shift the firewall wherever you want. With a car like this, it's 101-inch wheelbase. It can be very advantageous to make it a chassis car. But anyway, so Jake killed it on the powder coat. Absolutely killed it. And then it went to Brandon Shytles, friend of ours, great painter. He painted the jams through here, the quarters, and back here into this jam area, right? And then up here. He's also got the doors and the fenders and the front bumper and the hood. He's got all that other stuff, but I didn't need that stuff right away. We needed to put the car together, so we needed the chassis back. So, man, they were making them at night last night. They got, I dropped it off. Jake had it prepped, and you know, all the body work done. I gotta be honest with you, the quarters on this car have never looked this
You cannot
good.
even tell that Josh and Devin put one of these quarters on.
Yeah, you can't even tell that we put one on in about 2 hours after I hit a wall about 7 years ago. You can't even tell that we did it. I mean, he did a bang up job. The quarters are perfect. So we had the car media blasted, and the media, when we media blasted it, it revealed a lot of old body work and stuff. Jake killed it. He got all this stuff perfect. And then Brandon, I mean, you know, I was anticipating that we were going to have to cut and buff this thing just like normal for every other paint job. We're not cutting and buffing this thing. We're going to put a coat of wax on this thing in 30 days and we're going to call it good, because I mean, it's beautiful. It's perfect. The color is youll white. It's from a Range Rover. I think a Range Rover Discovery or Land Rover Discovery, whatever it is. But it's a base clear. It's not a 3-stage paint. So the beauty of that is that if we tear up a fender or something, it's not terribly difficult to match, where a 3-stage is a pain in the ass. So,
but hang on, let's go back real quick. The picture you posted, what was up with that?
Yeah, so the picture I posted the other day was all the bars and everything in the chassis was all white, and it was actually like stage 1 when Jake was powder coating this, and basically it was not Photoshop, but like the picture made it look as if all these bars were all white because there was some overspray. There was some white powder overspray on it. And I got a lot of messages of people like, yo, that's sick, whatever. I ain't doing that. I'm not going to put a white top on it. It's not getting white pony wheels. Like this car from the factory was a triple white car. It had, you know, white leather, interior white top, white pony wheels. It's long gone. Factory's long gone on this thing. So.
And before you took this rendition, it weighed how much?
So this car, before we pulled it apart, when we left Streetcar Bragging Rights, we were 3,245 pounds with Josh in the driver's seat, with gear on, and with a half tank of alcohol. We were 3,240, and I think we're going to be sub 3,000 now. I think, maybe, I don't know. We'll find out here soon. The chassis, I weighed it before we stripped all the paint and whatnot. It was 587 pounds. The chassis, the way it sits right now, is 416 pounds. So, well, that was before powder coat numbers. So I doubt the powder coat added much of anything, but it is 416 pounds the way it sits right now. So we weighed that a while ago up at Matt's place, exactly how it sits. Oh, actually, it had the column in it and the brake master cylinder and whatnot in it, but it was 416 when we weighed it. So we lost a substantial amount of weight. The things we did for chassis,
right?
We did a double frame rail, right? So being a convertible, this thing likes to twist up as it is, makes a lot of power, lock up, yada yada. So it was time. It was overdue. We did the double frame. Matt did the double frame rail. He integrated the mid plate, like, you know, to do it right. You got to integrate the mid plate into the double frame rail. So that's all right here, which I think is going to prove to be rather difficult to do some of the stuff that we were planning on doing just because of the engine location with the mid plate and whatnot. But we'll find out, you know. So double frame rail, mid plate, which slid the engine back, I think 2 inches or 1 3/4 inches from where it was. But this is still the factory firewall location on a Fox body, as you can tell by the factory front frame rails that are still intact.
And yet again, full chassis cars don't have that.
Right.
Right. Only Trace Quattros.
Right. No Trace.
This is a Trace Quattros.
Yes. So then back here, one of the struggles we had with this thing was keeping traction, you know, 100 foot on out, right? So it was stock suspension before. We went to a real 4-link. Matt, and we're going to document putting this whole thing back together. Matt did a jam-up job on all this stuff. It'll be pretty slick. So we're going to start putting some parts in it, and then we'll be back.
Well, hang on, before we cut it off, what are the goals with the new setup? What are the goals?
Well, the first goal is to make it to PRI in time. This car is going to be in the booth at Holley at PRI, so come and check it out. So that's the first goal, is to actually make it to PRI in time with a running, driving, complete car, not a SEMA special, right? Then after that, we're going to do we got a test, and then we're going to do sick week. The goal really is to just, you know, have an easier to race, faster street car. I don't know what it'll run, but I think this is going to be pretty easy to now print 390 tickets and still street drive it in quarter-mile trim, not, you know, taking doors off.
Yeah, let's go back to that. You talking about quarter mile trim. A lot of stuff about trim these days.
So it's a 275 tire. We may try a 315. I don't know, right? Might get wild, but it's got a 325 rear gear. It's got 9-to-1 compression engine. I mean, it's a mild combination. It's a big block Chevrolet built by Par, but it's a mild combination. But what I mean by quarter mile trim is that it's got a 325 rear gear. If we were going to race this thing in 8th mile trim, this thing would have a lot steeper of a gear in it in the rear end. It'd probably have a different transmission ratio in it. And I won't do nothing that jeopardizes how this car acts on the street, right? So like when this car is together, and if we go 390 with a 0, 0, 0, and we want to go 389, I'm not going to pull anything out of it. It's going to be, we got to find that number. I ain't making it a race car. This is a street car. We ain't losing the air jacks. We're not losing its comfort, the creature comforts. That's all there is to it. So, you know, there's a lot of cars floating around now that are 2,500 pounds, and they're flying, but I'll give up the 500-600 pounds, and we just gonna make it work. So, yeah, street car for life, plus a convertible top will still work. All right, so we've had a pretty long, productive day. I lost my crew. Justin was here all day with me, and Matt from Performance Fab came down. He had to give us a hand with some of the carbon in the back because we didn't know how to put it together. So anyway, enough of my ugly mug. Here we are. We've got front suspension and K-member. So the K-member is the same K-member that I had in the car. We put Racecraft adjustable caster camber plates, tie hardware from Racecraft over here. We've got Racecraft 11-inch, I think they're 11-inch, whatever, A-arms, they're short. And then we've got, Matt made these travel limiters. You'll see this finish on quite a few things in this car when we go to the back. This is nickel plating, so Matt found a guy, or a company locally, that nickel plates, and I like it. It doesn't add any thickness. It's obviously this color, and it also matches the TBM stuff. So, of course, we've got Tbm brakes and RC comp wheels. So, they're spindle mount Torx. Yeah, Torx, that's it. Mickey Thompson 26-inch front runner. Got a Santuff spindle mount strut. Got those from Racecraft as well. The springs are on it. I got it sitting pretty high. So we got all the firewall bolted in, mid plates bolted in. The tape is there because we had to caulk a couple seams. So I just didn't want it to bleed through. I got to finish bolting in the firewall. Anyway, let's go inside here. We got floor pans in. So they're really pretty, and it's a shame I'm going to put carpet over top of them, but it is what it is. So floor pans are in. There's the brake master cylinder setup. This is a Willwood setup that was originally from Tim Lyons at Lyons Racecraft, and it used to have the firewall plate out here. All we did was remove the firewall plate and get rid of the bolt-on bracket. Like, it's literally the exact same spot that it was in before. We just removed the plate and made a support inside the car. So trying to lose a little bit of weight. Put a billet McCamus pedal in it. So that's right here. It's pretty slick. It ain't a footprint, but it'll do. You know, I wish it was a footprint, but it's got a tow hook on it. Same columns. We used the same column that was in it before. I mocked up the electronics panel, that right there. We'll do a whole video on that. And then in the back, here's the carbon. So, carbon tub, all the carbon's from McCamus. He makes the nicest stuff, in my opinion. Just haven't found anybody who makes the tubs, at least, for sure, because it's got this liner inside of it. You can see that like tan color. That liner is really nice. Big fan of that. So Matt came, glued the tubs in. So the tubs are all glued into the quarter. They've got to sit until tomorrow, and then I'm going to glue. He showed me what to do. I'm going to glue on the inside over here too. Got the carbon panels in over here. The fuel cell is going to come in over here. I'll show you all the fuel cell here in a minute. But Got the wishbone end, that's also nickel plated. 4-link bars, anti-roll bar, everything. Matt did all this stuff. So it was really, yeah, I mean, just bolted. It was pretty simple. The housing I already had set up. The floater housing that Matt built at Performance Fab had that already like pre-assembled, so it was ready to go in. It was a long day, but a lot got accomplished. A lot of people, I posted up a picture and someone was like, look at your wheel well openings, they're huge. I don't know, that's a 275. I don't think they're huge, but they're the same wheel well openings that were in the car before. I don't know. So anyway, my game plan for tonight is to button up a few little odds and ends, and then tomorrow set the engine in. Oh, the rear shocks and stuff are in it. Went with Sand Tough. Gonna try them out. Been a Menser guy for a long time. Worked with a few cars on Sand Toughs. Decided I wanted to give them a shot. So I have nothing negative to say about them. Another car that I work with a lot, my good friend, he's got Sand Toughs on it and they work really well. So we're gonna try them. Tbm Brakes, of course. Oh, look at that. I gotta move. No, never mind. You're right. Okay. So like I still got to nut and bolt the whole thing, but nothing's tight right now because you know, I don't know where I'm going to set ride height, and I got to wait for all the weight to be in the car. No point in wasting time doing that. So I've got, oh, and the air jacks. This is always a fan favorite. There's the air jacks. The Matt made a lightweight aluminum bolt. Well, these bolt-on mounts, these clamps, are made by the same company that makes the air jacks. But he fabbed up some tabs and some stuff underneath in order to hold them in. We lost a lot of weight with that. We actually, I think we pulled like 12 pounds out of that. Battery mount is in the car. This is for the Full Spectrum Power P2000, the battery of choice in my opinion. When you're gonna go lithium. So yeah, we're about to start filling everything up. I'm gonna set the engine in the car probably tomorrow. Oh, I forgot I was going to tell you to show the fuel cell. So, fuel cell's pretty sweet. We had it black anodized, right? So, Matt has his own Performance Fab, you know, fuel cell lids. The reason I really like his, and I'm sure other people make them like this too, but they're huge. Like I have a big hand, and it fits. Anyway, I don't know. I think this is going to work well. We'll see. I'm pretty confident it's going to work well. Racetronix is a really cool company up in Canada. We're a dealer for them. But anyway, they make their own little Walbro 255 pumps. You can't see it. It's buried in there. I'll have to get a flashlight. Hold on. Here's more air jacks. I haven't put those in yet. So, Racetronix. There you go. You can see them down there. They're purple. Right there. There you go. They're purple. They make their own pumps. They also have, it's hard to see, but that little red piece is a billet piece that bolts in and holds the two pumps together. So what we did is Matt made this fuel cell, and there's two pumps mounted inside of the cell. Two Walbro 255s or 225s, whatever they are. Racetronix 225s. And then there's a Corvette filter regulator screwed directly on it. And then all that, like besides the regulator, everything came from Racetronix. Then they sell a bunch of this PTFE hose, right? So then there's the hose goes. The hose goes. Hold on. There we go. Right there. To that fitting that's welded to 6AN and pokes out right there. 6AN ORB. So that is the single line that's going to go from the back of the car to the front of the car for the pump gas. It's a deadheaded system, a non-return system. So we're trying to do everything as we can to make it as light as we can and as easy as we can. Racetronix also has these bad Larrys. So these are an electrical bulkhead. So these are nice. These are Apex terminals, or Apex connectors. They work well. Same deal that's on the brushless Chevy Silverado fans that I did a video on a while ago. But anyway, there's a connector here. There's also a connector on the inside. So you can unplug your fuel pumps and pull them right out without having to cut anything or fish anything through here. Really like that. So it comes with a weld fitting, snap ring to hold the piece in, the whole 9 yards. They also have a bolt-on version, which is really nice as well. But I mean, when somebody's building the fuel cell, might as well just use the weld-on one. Used a tube style 16-inch fuel level sending unit for the pump gas side. The methanol side, we decided to not use a fuel level side over here. So the profile of the cell is a little different, right? So the idea here is that the entire bottom of this is a sump. I think we're going to be a lot more efficient. We used to have to carry like 9.5, 10 gallons of fuel in the old cell in order for it to be good for a 1/4 mile pass and like not give us any problems. I think now for a 1/4 mile pass we'll be able to carry like 6 gallons of fuel. Doesn't sound like much, but it's 3.5, 4 gallons of fuel difference, which is weight, you know, so all of it's important. 16 ORB bung, and then this is a Racetronix drain. It's pretty sweet. I like these. So we'll see how that works out. Should be fine. And Matt integrated the vent into the cell. So here's the vent for the cell, and it comes out right here. So it's less stuff to plumb. And then there is the return fitting. So should be pretty cool. I'm gonna probably put this in tonight if time allows. Well, time allows, it's just if I don't fall asleep. Here's the engine, same old big block Chevrolet conventional, headed big block. You know, Fluidworks pump, oil pump. And then one of our spec'd out nip and denso or hairpin style power method alternators. Put all tie hardware on here just because it was it looked nice and I really liked it. So, oh well. Anyway, we're going to get back to work. And this will be conclude this video because this one's already too long. And then I'll make another one probably tomorrow night. So we're leaving to go get married on Wednesday morning. So this is a mad thrash for me until Tuesday night when I have to get this entire thing like laid out for plumbing so that I can order all my plumbing parts. So that when we get back and our street meet, our drag and drive event is done, I can get to plumbing this thing because again, we've got to make PRI. So, all right, and I'm not making PRI with a SEMA car. I'm not doing that. It's gonna have to drive. So, all right, see y'all. And also, if you've made it to the end of this video, let me know if you actually like these types of videos because then I'll make more of them. If you don't, I don't care. Then I won't make any more of them and it saves me a bunch of time. All right, see you.